Because we're resilient, we will persevere. I am Mrs. Denise Harrison Thomas, one of the grade coordinators for grade 8. The other coordinator is Mr. Hines. He sent his apologies, regrettably, due to circumstances beyond his control. He will not be joining us today, so I will be making the presentation on both of our behalf. Before we go any further, we will be having a short prayer and scripture reading. So I will proceed and pray. So let us pray. Heavenly Father, I would like to invite you in our presence today as we begin our grade 8 orientation session. I pray, dear Lord, that you will bless all of us, you will protect us, and you will help us to have a very productive and meaningful meeting. Lord, I pray that you protect our children and you continue to provide for our parents. These and other unmentioned mercies I ask in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Today's or this afternoon's scripture reading will be taken from Psalm 121. And we are going through a very stressful and difficult time. And I thought that this passage of scripture is very important. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. So parents and everyone in this meeting, this is an assurance from the Lord that he will help us. He will guide and he will protect us from all dangers. So let us keep that in mind despite of this difficult time that we're going through as it relates to this pandemic. We will be inviting our principal, Reverend Dr. Everton Thomas, to give us a short welcome and principal's address. So make welcome, Dr. Thomas.
Good afternoon, parents. Good afternoon, teachers.
Good afternoon, sir.
Now, I want to thank you for coming on at this short time. The notice was short, but I'm thankful that you are able to make it, considering what is happening to our learning platform. Now, parents, it's important that we get your full support because of what is our new normal, which is the online platform. So I ask you to be patient with us because we understand that at this time, everybody is a bit flustered and concerned, overly concerned about their child, where the child will go. I've received several calls concerning the school, if school will be keeping, what is the mode of apparatus. And I want you to know now that we are going online. School starts on the 5th of October. And virtual learning is the new norm. I don't want everybody to be assured that this is school online. Everything that was, most thing rather, that was on the physical, when we have the physical space, will be done on the virtual space. Now, for some of us, online learning is not new. This is what we have been doing for some of us. So you understand that virtual learning has always been around. It's now push or force on us at the primary and high school level to take on this format or this learning style. Parents, I know that you're worried. You have a lot of questions. I can imagine the many questions we'll be receiving today. And I'd ask the coordinator, Mrs. Thomas. And by the way, when she said Denise Harrison Thomas, I said to myself, I want the person believe that is my wife. No, she's not my wife. And her brother, and the young man is not my brother either. He's a good young man. Anyway, colleagues, let me just say this to you. I know you have questions that you want to ask us, the uncertainties, the anxieties are there are many, but let me comfort your hearts that we're going to do this together. One of the things that we often tell our students is that they must get up and say, I can do all things through Christ who strengthened me. We want to impose the same thing on you, parents, that we can do all things through Christ. Yes, the time frame given to us, the information from the minister is short, but we have to go with it because of what is happening in our society and the world. So don't be perplexed. We're going to do it together. We can make it, and we're going to have school. As a matter of fact, I dare to say, school is going to be better than ever, because now the teachers will be there with your child will be there, no excuse from the child why he or she can't make it to class, because class will be in their living room. So parents, be comforted that we're going to do this together, and Innswood High School is going to continue to shine. So let me boast a bit before I turn over the mic to Mrs. Harrison Thomas. I want you to know that this time around, our CSEC results has gone up almost 100%. Math and English, we have received more ones and twos than ever before. We have more students, more students getting 5 subjects or 8 subjects. In other words, whatever subject they have signed up that they did, they're getting the result. I've had students who called me who did 5 subjects and she received all 5, range 1, 2, and 3. She got more 1s and 2s than 3s. Here's what I'm saying to you. We have been doing well and we continue to do well. Let me further boast. This is grade 8 meeting. Grade 9 last year did 2 CSEC last year. They did physical education and EDPM. And to say to you, all the students that did that exam, those exams last year was successful. I think that's a good place to give a round of applause to the Innswood High School teachers. They did it, and also the students, they did it in grade 9. I'm proud to declare this and to say this aloud because I want you parents to understand that what we have, the culture that we have at Innswood High School is one of work and excellence, where our teacher believe that our students comes first. I share this with you that we have an individual teacher. She was ill, several of them, but this one stands out to me more than all of them. She was ill at home and her SBA was unfinished. And she left her sick bed beyond doctor's order. And she came to school and she had her classes. And that time she put her head down, but she was adamant that her children, the SBA must be completed. And I must say to you, that teacher has been getting good passes over the years and she continued to do so. And here's what I want to bring to attention, further add to attention, is that she went beyond the call of duty. Now, there's not a lot of persons who will be ill. Doctors say they're supposed to stay home. And she left home to come to Innswood High School to teach your child, that child. Let me say this to your parents. This is the quality teacher that we have at Innswood High School. And I want to stress again that the Innswood High School teachers have moved heaven and earth to get our children to where they're at. So parents, rest assured, as we continue online, and I'm looking forward to January 2021, where we can go back and see them physically. I have a teacher, let me just finish my thoughts and where I'm coming from. Where I've had teachers who call me and say, sir, I'm willing to come to school to teach despite COVID. My teachers were willing to come out for the sake of your children. My teachers were willing to come out to meet with your child despite the COVID that is rampant in our society. I say, Miss Caroline, just yesterday, Miss Car called me and said, sir, I wish school was going on. And I said the same thing to her. I'm just coming from school. That's how much I miss your children. And the effort in getting you guys out online today is an effort that we have been working on. The vice principal coordinators, the dean, the vice and the dean and the guidance counselor, sorry. So we've been working behind the clock on all the time, trying to get your child to get this meeting ready, to get your child out ready for school. All right, parents. I'm getting away with myself right now because I feel the talking coming on even more. And I see Miss Harrison Thomas looking at me. Parents, it's really an honor to serve you and your children. It's really an honor for me to be at Innswood High School as principal at this time so I can contribute to your child's life. I am proud to be a part of your child's life. I'm proud to be your child's principal because when they become the doctors, the teachers, the nurses, the police, I can see them on the road one day in the future and ask them if they can attend to me without cost. And I know the answer towards that would be yes. And you parents will be proud to know that their principal, their past principal, can come to their doctor's surgery and ask them to look at your principal, and it will be done. The joy that it brings in our hearts where our children are able to do well and are succeeding. And the batch that is going out now, the CSEC batch, the grade 11 students, I am so happy as a principal to see where most of my students have received passes 1 and 2. And this is what I called, one of the reasons why I called it to let you know, to show off to you, all of you in Jamaica, that Innswood High School in 2021 will be a school of choice. Thank you very much for your time, Ms. Harrison Thomas.
Thank you, Dr. Thomas. At this time, we'll be having a short greetings from our vice principals. Vice principals, please greet our parents.
I'm not sure what's happening because I know I saw them earlier.
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm doing both, monitoring at the same time. Good afternoon, parents and colleagues. Happy to have you. It's really a privilege to be able to share with you at this time. I want to say that I am honored to be here to speak to you as one of your vice principals. I've heard from many of you, I've seen many of you, and I know at this time you are not so comfortable with how things are and how things are progressing. I know you would have preferred for us to be having this orientation face-to-face, but we are unable to do so. But I want you to be comforted, however, for you to know fully well that we will be doing all that we can to ensure that your child does well in school. We want to encourage you to play your part. Try to have them ready for school. Try to give them the tools that they need so that they can function well. Because we don't want your child to be left behind. And now, parents, you have a greater responsibility in the teaching and learning process. I'm sure those of you who have children in primary school and in kindergarten, you have to be sitting beside them to ensure that they do the work. We are still going to need you to monitor your child in high school. They're in grade 8 now. They did 1 year already. In grade 7, we have seen improvements in we have seen where many of them are ready to so little numeracy gone up, and we know that they will do well. But we are also cognizant of the fact that this online setting may prove to be difficult for some of them. So they're going to need your support. They're going to need your encouragement. And we are here also to support in that area. And so as we go through this school year, 2020, 2021, you can rest assured that we're coming out fully. We're not going to be drawing back because it's online. We're coming out fully. We're giving our 100%, and we're going to be supporting you totally. And we hope that at the end of the year, we will all see the kind of success that we're looking for. So I trust that we'll have a productive afternoon, and I know that all things will work well because we believe in God. Enjoy the rest of the afternoon, and I'll be here. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mrs. Rowe? All right, we'll continue. At this time, as the coordinator, I'll be giving a short presentation. And in that presentation, there are certain pertinent matters that we need to discuss. So the first thing that we'll be looking at this afternoon, what are the expectations for the reopening of school? Classes begin for all grade 8 students, or all students as a matter of fact, on Monday, October 5th, 2020. Timetables will be made available to all students by Friday of this week. All students will meet with form and subject teachers. A class list will be posted in the student group, in the grade 8 group, and the names of the form teacher will also be posted. Parents, all students are expected to have a device such as a tablet or a computer to engage in the online learning teaching process. Students are expected to adhere to all the rules of the school, although we'll be learning virtually. Teachers have been trained, and some are currently in training, to use the teaching platform online that the school will be utilizing. I'll be telling you a little about that as we go on. Parents, I want you to know that the staff at Innswood High School, principal, dean of discipline, teachers, coordinators, office workers, we are committed to ensure that everything will work in the best interest of your child. And we look forward to having a very fruitful experience and a rewarding one. I know that since the pandemic, everyone to an extent has to stay home in order to keep safe. So we have all established new routines. Our children also at home, they have been out of school for the past 6 months now. So they are accustomed possibly to wake up at any time that they feel like. So parents, I am asking you to work with us as a team, because all students must be on the online platform by 7:50 each morning. And the reason why I say 7:50 is that we cannot leave God out of the mix. And it is mandatory that all students must partake in online devotions before classes, and they will meet with their form teacher for registration, marking of names, etc. I know that COVID will be around for a very long time. And as a result, we have to change and adjust our behavioral patterns. Yes, this is a very stressful time for us all. So parents, please be on the lookout for changes in your child's behavior and offer as much encouragement and support as possible. Parents, I am empowering you to assist us at Innswood High School with instilling positive behavior and self-discipline within our students, because they are my students as well, in order to create a safe and productive learning environment online. As a team, we hope to collaborate and help our students develop the social and emotional skills that they need to be successful in school during this COVID pandemic and beyond. Parents and caregivers at home, I am urging you to use positive discipline strategies to steer your child away from behaviors that can cause harm. These strategies are of paramount importance because they will help our children learn behaviors that will enable them to be happy and successful as they mature into adulthood. Children are always learning by watching how the adults in their life behave. So parents and caregivers, it is incumbent on you to model for your child the behavior that you want to see from them. Give your child the opportunities to practice their self-discipline skills. Parents and caregivers, I need you to hold your child accountable, especially during this pandemic, as it relates to the virtual learning experience. We know our children, they can be a bit mischievous at times. Some students will log on and then they just leave the computer and then they're playing games or they go back to bed and so forth. I will not be speaking too much on the discipline aspect because I don't want to go into the Dean of Discipline's presentation. So I would like for you to check your child's book every day because they'll be getting homework. I would like for you to liaison with me and Mr. Hines, the grade 8 coordinators, and also the form teachers. So we can give you an update on the performance of your child. Also, students will be given a 1-hour lunch break each day. The teaching learning modality that will be utilized at the Innswood High School is the Google Suite. And as I said before, all students need to have their devices in order to access our virtual learning experience. Parents, I know this is a very hard time for everyone, including teachers and administration. We are trying to get it right. We have never experienced this pandemic before. So it is a new venture for every one of us. So we're going to have teething problems. Everything will not run smooth at the get-go, but I am encouraging you and I'm here to reassure you that Innswood High School, the school of choice, we have your child interest at heart and we will work tirelessly, assiduously to ensure that your child is not left behind. We love your children dearly. And as I said before, this is a pandemic. This is a situation that we have never gone through before, experienced before. So I'm craving your patience and your understanding and know that we will work together as a team to ensure that your child is our number one priority. Thank you. At this time, I will be asking Ms. Carr to do her presentation now on discipline and online learning expectations.
Miss Harrison Thomas.
Just
Mrs.
before
Harrison Thomas.
Mr. Small is here.
Yes, Mr. Small is online.
Mr. Small is online, Mr.
Okay, welcome, Mr. Small. Mr. Small, I'm asking you to greet our parents. He's also one of our vice principals.
Yes, I was saying that I was muted earlier, so I was unable to
Sorry about
speak.
that, sir. I was
My
looking
apologies,
for you.
sir.
All right. Let me say good afternoon to my Innswood High School parents. Let me use this opportunity, just in case you hear a little one in the background, that I have a little one that is ever present. So I apologize for that extra sound if you do hear it. All right. Parents, let me say that we are on uncharted territory right now with regards to the pandemic. You have known from March that this would have been something quite unusual. And of course, we are all in this thing together and we are trying our best as possible to see how we can reach out to your children. We have seen the concerns, of course. We have actually gotten calls. Parents are checking up on with the availability of devices and what is the plan ahead for the new year. And I just want you to know, and I want you to also have comfort in knowing that we are all in this thing together. We have your students, your children's best interests at heart. We want at the end of the year that your children will be successful in their examinations, and the students would have been actually excelling greatly, even not seeing their teachers physically. So we are working, as I said earlier, so that students will be able to have access to the information that is needed. We have the various platforms that was discussed and that will be established as we go along. Let me just also use this opportunity to encourage you to there is a grade 8 group. There's a grade 8 group that is now active, a WhatsApp group, and I want you, if you have not yet been a part of it, to try as best as possible to get on board with this group, as the information from now until October 5th, things change quite quickly, but I don't want you to be left out. So all the necessary information from Innswood High School will be posted on that platform as quickly as we receive it. So I want you to try as best as possible to be in that platform so that you can get all the information necessary. All right, I want you to be very attentive to this meeting, listen to all the information that will be delivered in this meeting, and we will be having a very good relationship over the year, even as we are not seeing each other physically. And I wish you all the best as we tread new waters, so to speak. Thank you very much.
Before Ms. Carr comes, I would just like to remind the parents that for this year, you are not required to contribute, make your necessary contributions. We're asking you to make up that money and get a device for your child or your ward. So no contribution. You see how Innswood High School love our parents and students. So our kind principal will not be accepting any contribution this year from parents. He's kindly asking you to get the necessary devices for your child. Ms. Carr, the floor is open for you.
Thank you, Mrs. Harrison Thomas. You did
You're
a
welcome.
very good job. I'm very proud of you and very impressed.
Thank you.
Good job. All right. Good evening, parents. I welcome you to this meeting, our first meeting for the new school year. And boy, I tell you, this has been, as some people would say, it has been a trip. This whole experience has really been fraught with challenges, and it's different, but in God we put our trust. And I believe, as our mantra says, that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. And I believe that we are going to make it through this whole pandemic and through this new norm, as everybody is calling it. I said to the principal the other day that I'm excited about this new thing, because we, parents and students, all of us will be learning something new. I myself have to be going back on some things that I learned in college many years ago. I have to be drawing on. So I understand that there's a lot of anxiety as we prepare to do this remote learning, this online learning thing. But parents, I want you to think about it as something that is new and exciting. And at the end of it, hopefully by January 2021, we can return to face-to-face. But by the end of it, we would have learned a new skill. We would have learned how to use Zoom. We would have learned how to use all these various platforms. And for that, I am excited. Okay, so I'm gonna go right into what I would like to discuss with you this evening. I would like to share with you what our expectations are as a school for this new approach to learning. Now, remote learning, it's not new. We do have teachers, we've had persons who have used it before, but now it is more widespread. It is what is required. So there's no face-to-face for the next 2-3 months. And this particular way of this approach can be, it's not always straightforward, and it can have a number of factors that we need to consider. All my colleagues spoke about having a device, and we know that these devices are not cheap. And when you think about having the devices, you have to think about ensuring that you have Wi-Fi, you have service, and all of that. I know that there are some parents who will not be home most of the time to monitor your child or ward because you have to go to work. So there's a lot of things to consider as we embark on this remote learning. But as my colleagues identify that we're here to support you, we are supporting each other, and we are working together to see to it that your child is successful. Parents, I want to encourage you to take an active interest in your child's learning. As a parent or a caregiver, remote learning, it is a new concept for some, and it has teething problems, teething pains, you know? So parents, now more than ever, you have to take an active interest. You have to talk to your child, and you now more than ever need to seek help from others. And parents, I speak to you today, not only as your Dean of Discipline, but also as a parent of a child who is in high school. And most of these things that I'm saying to you, if not all, these are things that I'm doing myself. I am implementing and I understand. All right, so parents, take an active interest in your child's learning now more than ever, because the majority of the responsibility right now is in your lap. All right, establish a daily routine schedule with your child. When your child comes to school, he has a timetable that he uses to guide his operation throughout the day. We're asking you to establish that at home. It is very important, parents. All these things that I'm saying to you is to help you in this process. You are to sit down and write it with the child and post it. So you're going to have a discussion. So you'll be getting the timetable on Friday. And in addition to that timetable, parents, you must create a timetable for home. What do you expect? So the child is to get up at, say, 7 o'clock. The child must log on at 7:50. Class finishes at, say, 2:30. What time is it that they are to log off the instruments or, yes, the devices? Because, you know, they want to go on YouTube and so forth. So you have to set up a routine and a schedule with your child or ward. Encourage the learning device, I'm sorry. Encourage that your learning device be kept in a public space. So when your child log on, they shouldn't be in the bedroom or in the bathroom. Please identify an area in the home where the child will stay when class is going on. So just like when they're at school, they know that if they're in 8I, they know the room and so forth, they know which seat there to sit in. You're going to establish a space like that at home. Ensure that your child uses official school communication channels. Now we have established WhatsApp group, we have the school email, and I know that our coordinators, and I will be giving you my email address. Please communicate through this chat, through these channels. So you're going to use the WhatsApp group, and parents, we need you to monitor these groups. Please ensure, parents, that in the WhatsApp group, that it is your number that is in the WhatsApp group, the parent WhatsApp group, and not the student. Let me repeat that. Please ensure that it is your number. Please ensure that you are in the parent group and not your child. Okay? Please keep in touch with the teachers and your grade coordinator. I believe that this affords us more opportunity to communicate now, because you don't have to necessarily leave work. You will now have more access to us because email, WhatsApp, all these different options. Please, parents, maintain communication with us. Send us messages if you're having problems, any questions at all. We are here to give you the support that you need. Parents, most importantly, please monitor your child's communication online. You are to go through their work. You are to go through their messages. You are to go through all these various platforms that your child or ward is a part of, just to ensure that they're remaining polite and being mannerable, and that they are not posting negative comments. You want to ensure that you don't just leave it to chance, because they need supervision now more than ever. It's not like when Mr. Hansen or Mr. Small or myself will be walking on the corridor and checking and all of that. It's now your time, all right? And you have the devices at home, parents. So I'm asking you, please, to ensure that at least one time for the week, you go through the devices, you check the message, and you see what is happening. Encourage a child to take a break. Yes, they have to take a break. They can't just sit in front of the machine for the whole day, be it tablet or laptop. So please encourage them to take screen breaks. And that will also be facilitated in the timetable, the schedule that you set up at home. Implement safety and control privacy restrictions on the apps and on the software. There are children, especially these grades, all of them from 7 to 11. You want to ensure that they are not visiting certain sites. You want to ensure that they don't have access to certain sites. And parents, you might not know. For example, I don't know most of these things. So I had to contact one of my friends who is a tech savvy person. So you can ask somebody to help you with setting up these restrictions and safety controls. Parents also, please, we don't want any bullying online. So I go back to the fact that we're asking you to check the messages that your child is sending. We not, a lot of them might feel like, okay, because we can't see your face and so forth, you can say and do anything. So you are to, again, parents, help us to monitor your students' online activities. Familiarize yourself with the relevant policies. Know, because our mode of apparatus, operations, let me stick to the, has changed. So you need to familiarize yourself with the new expectations and the new norms. And I'm going to get into that shortly. Familiarize yourself with what it is that we are expecting. Now we're asking you to be in a WhatsApp group. And if it is that there's a parent who you know who is not present, please ensure that you pass that information on to him or her. Familiarize yourself with your grade coordinator and what it is that him or her expect of you. All the teachers as well will have different expectations of the children and operate in different ways. So familiarize yourself with the teachers and what it is that they expect. Monitor your child's well-being and mental health. Now, this has been a difficult time because it is so new. We have never seen or heard of this before. And parents, truth be told, I know you are stressed. A lot of persons, when this pandemic started, the first shutdown, they lost their jobs, and a lot of persons are just getting back into the groove of things as it relates to work. And I know you are stressed. If you are stressed, believe it or not, your child is stressed too. Please, parents, take the time out to sit and talk to your child and check on how they're feeling. This whole new, I mean, it can be very frustrating. Engage your child in the discussion. How is it that they're coping? And let them know how you're feeling as well. And at the end of the discussion, you offer encouragement and support and remind them that you are here to support them. Parents, I now move on to what we expect for our class rules. Even though it is online, we have expectations. First and foremost, let me explain to you that the ministry is insisting, and we are adhering to what the ministry has said, that all students, when attending their classes, must be attired in their uniform. All students, when attending their classes, must be attired in their uniform. If it is that you are unable to wear your uniform, you must wear your PE gears. Those are the options. So once you are online in a class, you must be wearing your uniform. No hats, no tams, no tied, nothing like that. 2, students, when you log on, you must log on with your name. You must log on with your name and your grade. So say, for example, I am Carrie Carr, grade 7, or you can put 7G. You must log on with your name and grade at all times. And you also must log on with your video, and you must be muted. So you stay muted. And if it is that you have a question or a concern, you raise your hand. Mr. Hansen, at the beginning of this presentation, he stated that as one of our rules, that you are to be muted and you raise your hand if you have a question. Now, when we go to online learning, that is what we are expecting of our students. You log on with your videos on, you are to be muted, and you are to have your correct name. So no shutter 1, 2, 3 and big head, none of that. Your name and your grade. We wanted to stay focused on the task. So parents, before you leave, or as I said before, please establish an area for the child to work in, a space. So he or she knows that between the hours of 7:50 to 2:30, this is where I'll be working. Please ensure that the space is neutral, that nobody should be walking behind them and a wave and all of that. Ensure we understand, and you need to be muted so that if your background is noisy, it does not disturb the class. So again, find a quiet space. And I know that you might have siblings at home and so forth. Everybody needs to be orientated to this new norm. and what is expected. Ms. Harrison Thomas, have I covered all the areas as I'm going along?
Yes, Miss.
All right. And again, parents, I can't stress enough. Please, now is the time to sit and talk to your child about being respectful at all times. When you come online and you want to say something, the teacher gives you the okay, you say, excuse me, miss, and good afternoon. And, you know, the teacher has responded, so you say, thank you. We want our students to be respectful. And just so you know, parents, we do reserve the right to suspend your child or to bar them from a class or a session if it is that they do not adhere to the rules. So no expletives, they must be properly attired, they must be on time, they must not be disruptive in the classes, they can't be shouting, and no bullying. We know that the students might have their own groups, and parents were asking to monitor this as well. We wanted to ensure that there's no bullying or indecent language in these groups, and for these reasons, we might have to suspend you. So the teacher, the school has the right to suspend you if it is that you fail to adhere to the rules. I'm sure there will be a question and answer section. If you have any concerns, I'm going to give my number, and I'm also going to write it in the chat, and I'm also going to put in the chat my email address. Parents, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. We are here to give you the much needed support. You need more support now more than ever as we get used to this new norm. My contact number, and as I said before, I'm going to say it now, and I'm going to put it in the chat. It is 545-4195. 545-4195. So feel free. And
what time can we call you, ma'am? Anytime?
You hear me? I was just about to say, feel free to call between the regular work hours, but you can send a message any time. You can send a WhatsApp message any time of the day or night, because I will respond, you know. So if it's, because I understand that there are some persons who might come off from work late and you just remember something and you want to send Miss Cara a WhatsApp message, no problem at all. I will respond in a timely manner, but no phone calls beyond 7. Because remember, I am a high school parent as well, and I have a lot of responsibility trying to help my son get used to this online platform as well. So I'm going to write my number in the chat, and we're going to ensure that you have my number so you can get through to me for any kind of assistance and support. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your attention.
Ms. Carr, before you go, Ms.
Yes,
Carr,
sir.
can the parents voice note you
Yes,
after
they can.
7? Okay, ma'am.
Yes, they can. No problem.
Good.
Just no phone calls after 7, but you can send WhatsApp messages anytime.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Carr. Dr. Thomas would like to say something.
Thank you, Ms. Carr, and thank you, Mrs. Thomas. Well said. Ms. Carr, you have covered everything. But just wanted to say to the parents, if the information, what we observe now is that the phone numbers that we have on file is not working for most of our parents. So we want the parents to update their contact information. If there's any change of address, please let us know. We need to get you, so please update your phone number if needs be. All right, that's 1. 2, Mrs. Thomas had said earlier that school fee. I just want to stress on that. We want you to use that money to buy the laptops and the tablets, because we want your child to be online. So we're asking that the parents do not pay any more school fee. If you have done so, there's no refund. Let me quickly say that. If you have done so, thank you for contributing to the school. But for those who have not done so, I'm going to ask you to use that money to buy the tablets on the laptop and possibly the data that your child will need to be at school. I know Mr. Thomas had said this before, but I just want to say it again. School starts from 8 o'clock to 2:40. Your child is expected to be online from 8 to 2:40. All right. The timetable dictate, however, the duration in terms of each class. So once you get on, and the information will be sent to the WhatsApp group that Mrs. Thomas had created. So the information will be sent to that group as it relates to how to get on the system. Please note, registration is ongoing. We need you to be registered. not to pay the money, but register the child. All the information we need, please, the name of the child and all the other information that we've been asking for, please do so. The office is open from 8 to 1. All right. As relates to your devices, I know it's there. Yes, you have been receiving calls that the principal should provide tablets and laptops for the children. Let me say this to you. We got a total of 301 laptops, 62 tablets and 241 laptops. Now, these laptops have the names on them already for the PATH students. So we can't give you a laptop because the students who are on PATH, they would have received these laptops and tablets already. All right, so those of you who are going to ask and those of you who have been calling, let me just be clear. If your name is not on the list, PATH list that comes from the Ministry of Education, you will not receive a tablet, nor would you receive a laptop. All right, those are given out already to the students from the list we received from the Ministry of Education. All right, so that being said, back to Ms. Thomas.
Ms. Thomas, we also, parents, we have found, well, a provider who we think is relatively cheap for some of these devices. Remember the tablet, sir, that we got? We got what's the name of it? Alcatel tablet for 15,500, relatively cheap, because I've seen tablets that are 26,000. Dr. Thomas?
Yes, yes,
So
25,
parents,
26.
Do you have a model? Do you have
yes,
one that
I
you can
do.
put on the screen?
Yes.
Just show it. Just show it.
Okay.
Yeah, and to Hado, Ms. Carr, yes, go ahead.
Right.
This is Dr. Thomas's tablet.
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
And
I'm
it
purchasing
uses
that
a
one
SIM
for a child
card.
at Innswood.
Yes, it uses a SIM card, and it's so parents, you can contact me. We have been looking for a provider to get these devices to you for a reasonable cost. And you can, as I said, my number is in the chat. You can make contact with me and we'll try and get one for you if it is that you don't have one. All
And
right.
to stress, this is not a money-making thing for Ms. Carr nor the school.
Oh no, we want the parents to have the device.
Because what we observe is that the tablets are very expensive. I've also found a place in Spanish Town beside the food court. Ms. Thomas told me about it today, the Bursa. That's because we're looking for tablets, because we want all of you to have tablets to come online. So we're out there looking for places that will give you the tablets cheap at a reasonable cost. And there's one beside the food court I was told today that is selling them also at a reasonable cost. So we have found two options for you. The food court, one beside the food court, and also one that Ms. Carr has found. Please note, this is not a money venture for us. We don't have time for that right now. We want our students online. We are praying and we're hoping that we get everybody online. I observed that there is about 47 parents online. And I would say to you that this is just one class out of a total of 300 and plus students. Am I right, Ms. Thomas?
Supposed to be 315. Supposed to be 315 students that we have on roll for grade 8.
And how much was contacted via the WhatsApp?
It's gonna be. Let me tell you. Let me just give it that info.
Well, Mr. Small, look for that number. We have, the last time I checked, nine people on YouTube.
Oh, 9 is on YouTube. Wonderful.
90, sir. 90.
90. And what we're hoping for, that each one will tell one. Because what's happening to us, we realize that when we check the file, the numbers are incorrect, or the numbers are not being used anymore, because we're always changing our numbers. So we want one parent to tell another that the meeting is on. It's on YouTube, so you can get the recording to watch at your free will. All right. So I know it's almost time for question and answer, and I know some persons are eager to get there. But let me just reinforce what Ms. Carr said. Parental support is a must. Please support your child. I know you have to go to work. I know you have to leave them for work, but I'm going to ask the parents, please stress the importance of them going to class online and staying online, be focused, because listen, if they fail, our future will fail. I want to say that one more time. If our students in this era fail, our future doesn't look good. So I'm imploring you as a father and as a principal, please ensure that your child, speak to them, that they remain focused, because if they're not focused, we're going to run ourselves in trouble in the future. Parents, let me also say to you that we need your child to succeed, because we know that your child will be the next doctor, teachers, and if they don't succeed, we're going to be at loss. So that's why I stress all the time that every child can learn, and our children can do all things through Christ. I know we have a history. Persons have branded Innswood because of our history, but they don't look at our future. And I know the negative thing, that the negative brand that was there is slowly but surely being removed from us. But I want to remind you, parents, that Innswood is doing well. And this is a result of you, the parents and the teachers and the students. So you have to employ your child to remain focused while you're out at work. Yes, because we can't stay home with our children. We have to be out there. So please, parents, work on that part of it for me so they can be focused. Another thing I want to look at is you need to attend the meeting. When Mrs. Thomas call you to a meeting, I might not be there. The vice principal might not be there because this is Miss Thomas's grade and Mr. Hines. So they will be talking to you. They're the person you'll be getting in touch with, not myself, nor the vice principals. The dean, Mr. Hines, and Mrs. Thomas are the persons you will be getting in touch with. And any question you have, those are the persons you do the questions. So if you can't get them, fine, you come up to us. But these are the persons that you must seek to get their numbers. I'm sure Miss Sarah Thomas would give her number in short order, so you can get in touch with her. And if there's a problem online, you get in touch with these persons so this can be remedy rather, so we can get the students to get online. All right. There will be homework and assignment that should be submitted. Yes, and you're asked that the child do their homework online, do their homework and submit online. And the projects will be given also, that I'm asking that you play a role in that aspect also. Please remember that the child will be given a grade at the end of the school term and an exam at the end of the school term. If the child failed, please listen to this part of it. I want you to hear this. If the child failed to pass the exams, the child will repeat grade 8. I want to say that one more time because some person didn't hear me. I want you to stress this to all the children in grade 8. If the child failed to get 50 and above, the child will repeat grade 8. I would want to put the child up to grade 9 because it means that the child is unable to manage grade 8 content. Now, gone are the days that we used to push to the children because we want space. But by myself and my administration decided that we're not going to send up any child who is not focused or who can't manage the grade 8 content. You must manage this leg of the race before you go further. It is sad to say that we have repeated children last year. The first time we started this, we lost 200 students the first time we started repeating students because they didn't take learning serious. And I said to them in devotion, and I also said it to some of you parents who came to PTA meeting, that we can't send your child up unless your child can pass the grade that he or she is in. Some parents, some students didn't take it serious, so they wasted time. Gone are the days when we tolerate time wasters. We will not be tolerating the time wasters anymore. This is a serious time. And the content that they're getting is serious. They need to master the content first before they can move on to another level. So parents, I'm asking you, please take this serious and please take our initiative serious because this is all in aid to help your child. All right, there will also be online. Yes, okay, before I get into that, I've asked Mr. Anson to show a slide of some students. I don't Ms. Carr touched on it, but I just want you to see what Ms. Carr was stressing that we want to be in the uniform. We started grade 11 last week. Yes, we started grade 11. And what we observed is that they came online on Zoom. And the type of dressing that we saw them in, we were not very happy to have our students in that mode of dressing. Some was in their bedroom. Some of the type of dressing that we saw, You know, so we want them to be studious, seated in a work area, and ready for school at all time. Our parents, thank you very much for that. I know it's back to Ms. Thomas. I'm getting ready for the question and answer section. We know you're going to ask me a lot of questions, and I'm ready for them. Mrs. Thomas, back to you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. At this time, we'll be having a presentation from Mrs. Brown, our guidance counselor. Mrs. Brown.
Good afternoon, parents. Welcome to our first meeting for this school year. And this is first also for this kind of meeting. I was asked to just give a few tips and to cope with this pandemic. COVID-19 has affected everyone. Whether you're old or young, it has affected everyone. There are some persons who are coping very well. There are some who are not. There are some persons who are being affected much more than others. But what can we do with our children? Oftentimes we are going through these crises and we don't even think about the children. We think that they're fine just because they might not be expressing themselves, or sometimes there are things, there are changes, but we do not observe as adults. But this afternoon, I just want to bring to your attention some things that you need to do with your children in regards to this pandemic. Now, as parents, you are role models for your children. And whatever affects you, affect them as well. Sometimes we don't think so. But the emotions you show, how you react to things, the anxiety, all of those things will affect the children as well. So, first thing you need to do when it comes to this pandemic, be aware of how you talk about it. Because there are some persons who keep thinking that, boy, it's going to destroy so many of us, especially the news that we hear daily now, wherein so many new cases and all of that. These can become frightening for the children. So you need to know how you express that to the children so as to decrease the fears that they may have. One of the things that you can do to reassure them is to ensure you tell them that you are doing your best to keep them as safe as possible and as healthy as possible, and everything in your power you are using to ensure their safety. Explain what is happening and explain it in a manner that each child will understand. Now, I know some of you might have children who are in primary school as well. So you will have to explain it in levels that they will understand. So in terms of the protocols for COVID, ensure you keep reinforcing that for them, to let them know that wherever they are, they're supposed to be practicing it, and it's a requirement. So there's no other way for them. You know, especially social distancing, because they are away from their friends. They are away from families. And sometimes they might go out. You might take them out on the road, or sometimes they might have to go out. You send them out. But what do they do when they see a friend that they have never seen in a long time? Or they have seen a family member that they have never seen in a long time? Will they remember not to run and hug? So you have to keep reinforcing all of this with them at all times. They can become anxious, but one simple thing that you can do that can help to diminish that is deep breathing. let them do deep breathing, because especially when they hear about how many cases we have, new cases, and how many persons are dying now, I know it can become a problem for them. What are the thoughts they're having? How are they feeling? Are they thinking that at some point it might happen to them, happen to a family member? So they have concerns. But if you recognize that, deep breathing is one thing that you can do with them that will help them to diminish that fear. Focus on the positive. So as much as COVID comes and affect our lives, some person's life negatively, and more so we see more of the negatives than even the positives. But what we can do is to find positive things to help our children with. For example, well, one of the good thing about COVID is that it keeps family together. And I'm quite sure there are some persons who might not have had that time with their family. But with COVID now, there's a number of time being spent with family. So make it a fun time. Do activities. Talk about things that you have never talked before. As parents, maybe you can even share your childhood experiences with them and all of that. So you can, there are a number of things that you can do. Sing, laugh, dance, do a number of things to help them, you know, keep on the positive. Ms. Carr spoke about this, establish and maintain a daily routine. That is extremely important. Another thing that you can do with your children is to identify projects. Apart from the fact that they will have school work to do, identify things that you can do. Maybe now is a time that you all can go out and make a garden, or there are other things that you wanted to do, and let them become a part of it. During this time, you have to offer a lot of love and affection, a lot of love and affection to keep them focused, keep them strong, and also to let them know that you are there for them. Ms. Carr spoke about this as well, the television viewing, social media, ensure that you know what your children are looking at now, the content, all of this, because they will have so much time on their hands. So they will go through the television and the social media and, you know, do things that they might not or they should not be doing. So you ensure you monitor that very, very well. Also, the fact that on the media, they speak so much, well, on social media, or there's so much information about COVID. Some of them are facts, some of them are not. So you too have to ensure you give them the facts about COVID and don't let them go through all the information that they're seeing being posted on social media. This one has been touched on too. Take time to talk with your children. Let them ask questions. Let them ask questions and answer them the best way that you can. Because they do have a number of questions that they need answers for. And in so, to give them. Remember at all times to reinforce the basic of hygiene, because it is a requirement for us now to help us to, well, it helps in preventing us from getting this COVID. Also ensure that their diet is a healthy one, because the immune system is a strong immune system is very important to resist this virus. So ensure that they are being fed properly and ensure that the basic hygiene is always practiced. Now, the last thing I will touch on is your child's mental health. You need to observe what is happening with your child. You need to observe whether or not there is any changes in your child's action. So some things that maybe you could look for if you have a small children, maybe they start sucking their thumb, they start wetting their bed, they're clinging to you, you know, they're not sleeping as before, you have loss of appetite, or they may become fearful of the dark, they are regressing in their behavior. So they were doing some things before and now you realize that they're not doing it anymore. And also they can become withdrawn. Now you have to observe all of this. And if this is something there's increase in conflicts. So every minute there's a confrontation happening, which never was the norm. And there's a number of complaints, the behavior has changed. And even now that they're in school, you might find that they're not concentrating anymore. So if you see these conditions or anything else, you might observe that was not the norm before, and it's happening over a period of 2 weeks. It's a concern. And I too will give my number that if you see anything of any signs or anything like this, you can give me a call. And my number is 455-5547. That's 455-5547. And
I'm not hearing Mrs. Brown. Mrs. Harrison Thomas, are you hearing her?
No, sir.
Our
Like
internet
something is wrong with our internet. Mrs. Brown?
and our presentation is so powerful.
Yes.
Hit the nail on the head.
She's still there, you know, but the sound, I think it's probably our internet.
Yes. And some of the signs that she spoke.
hearing me
also-
now?
Yes, Miss
Mrs.
Brown.
You're hearing me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
It keeps sticking, my internet is kind of
Yes.
going in and out.
Yes.
Yes, I was just giving my number so that if the parents should see any difference in behavior of their children, they could call me.
Yes.
Hearing?
We're with you.
Are you guys
Yes,
hearing?
miss, we got it. Yes, miss, we got it. I also posted the number in the chat, 876-455-5547.
Yes. Lovely. Mrs. Brown, I have to jump in and say this to you. All the signs.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Mrs. Brown, all the signs that you've listed, I want the parents to take keen interest in these signs because your presentation is powerful and it hit the nail on the head. Because what we always overlook the children, most of us, and what you have brought to our attention is something that we must be observant. Because if our students start to act this way, we need to act on it. Thanks you again. Madam Thomas, go over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mrs. Brown, for such a lovely and power-packed presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Indeed.
We're supposed to move on to parents' expectations, but I'm going to skip that for now and go to the question and answer section. And during that time, I guess parents, if you have any expectation, you can state them. So at this time, I'm going to ask the parents to ask whatever questions.
Raise their hands. Let them raise their hands.
Raise your hand, please,
So we can take.
so we can take you in order. Thank you. So parents, any
All right.
questions? Any
Before
concerns?
Sorry, Mrs. Thomas. I'm going to ask the vice principal to come online for me, please. Mr. Small, Mr. Anson, Ms. Carr is there already.
Right here,
Mrs.
sir.
Brown, just come online so they can see you
Yes, sir.
So we can, these are the faces, and Mrs. Rowe is not here. So these are the faces that will be answering your question. And also Miss Harrison Thomas. Let's go.
All right, there's
Yes,
a parent who is raising his hand physically.
Yes.
Mr. Salmon, parents, if you look in the app where it says chat, not chat. Mr. Hanson, this is your
Yeah, that's
department.
correct. Yeah, that's correct.
It's correct.
All right, and you raise
Correct.
your
When you see
hand.
chat,
But
right.
But
When
Mr.
you raise
Salmon,
your hand, it brings you to the
Yeah.
top so we can unmute you.
all right, so if you could, Mr. Salmon had his hand up. So if somebody could unmute him so that he could
Mr.
speak.
Small, let's help me search for him, Mr. Small.
Oh, Mr. Salmon, we can't see what is your log on.
Right. Is it? Do you know him personally?
Yeah, man,
Mr.
it's there. His name is there.
Eric. Eric is there.
Eric Salmon. So he had his hand up physically.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
They could unmute
All
him.
right.
All right,
Go
yes.
ahead. Unmute your microphone now, Mr. Salmon, and speak.
All right, he's unmuted.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
What I'm asking, I pay my son's school fee already.
All right. Could you speak a little bit louder, Mr. Salmon?
Said he paid his son's school fee already.
Yeah, and I don't get to come already time as yet. Should I still go to the doctor and get his certificate from the doctor straight away?
Yes, sir.
So I will get that and coming tomorrow. Is the
Beautiful.
person who is come down at the tablet, or will we know that?
I didn't hear that. Ask the question again.
The person name that come on the tablet from the park. Will we have any idea of knowing who?
Commande?
Oh, the
The
tablet.
students from the PATH program whose tablet came for them. That's what he's inquiring about.
All right. Let me take that one. All right. Sir Salmon, we have not received, we have the list already. There's a list generated by the guidance counselor. That's Mr. Balancing. So all the names, all the list, the names are there on the list. Those who received tablets already, the church gave out tablets, and those students have received them already. All right. So we will know if you want to ask a question, if your child is on the list, I could ask the guidance counselor to check and get back to you. Could you post Mr. Balancing number in the group so the parents could also get in touch with him, please?
Okay, sir.
Thank you. I hope I answered the question, sir.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You know, I already paid the school fee, so yeah, I already said there will be no refund. So I don't really have a problem with that.
No
I don't really
Thank
have
you,
a problem.
Mr. Salmon.
But
Thank
I
you.
need to know that tomorrow I will get everything, all of the necessary paperwork, and bring them to the school. What time is the closing your house?
It's from 8 to 1.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. You're welcome.
All right. Just to ask, there's Tashari Francis posted a telephone number to say we are to add it to the group. Whose number is that? Is that your number, Tashari, or is it the child's number? Just want to be clear. You can post in the chat. We will see it in the chat. All right.
Yes. Yes. Let them post it in chat, and then
Post in
I
the chat.
can add them.
Right. So Galaxy A20, unmute and go ahead, please.
Good evening.
Good
Good
evening.
evening. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Earlier, Mrs. Harris said that there's a WhatsApp group, a class group. Will that information be posted where we can get to be added to the group?
So
Yes, or what you can do is that you just add your number to the chat. Afterwards, I'll just visit the chat, get the numbers, and just add you to that group.
And
Okay,
to
thank
add,
you.
yes, you're welcome. And to add, any person in the group now who know of a child or your friend child that come to the school, and you have that number, add it for us too. Have I made myself clear? So if you live next door to a Innswood High students was not informed of the meeting today, please add that number in the group. I will just take it from the group and put it to the WhatsApp group. Is that okay? I hope that was clear.
because we want to capture as much persons as we can at this point in time. So,
And
that's
to
very
add,
important.
just to add also, if your number has changed, please inform Miss Harrison Thomas and Mr. Small, please. And
We
update
also,
it at the school. Go ahead, ma'am.
we also need the email address, parents,
Oh, yes,
because
yes.
we
yes.
want to be using not only one medium to get through to you. So please ensure that you forward your email addresses to us as well in the groups.
Okay, I think that's it for her. All right.
So there's-
Carolyn Brown.
Okay.
Carolyn Brown, you may unmute your microphone and go ahead, please.
Unmute the microphone.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Wonderful. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Question. I have a question with Anna K. Bernard, grade 10. And next, and the same question with her and the tablet. I did ask Sir Thomas about it already. If she did come, if her name was on the list. But the question what I have with grade 10, I want to know if Monday she going to and the Zoom, the Zoom class.
All right, so I'm hearing two questions. Let me answer the one on the tablet. I want Miss Ann to speak to the one on the G Suite. So we'll not be using, will not be using Zoom, but the G Suite account. Now, for the list that we receive, that were prepared by Mr. Balancing, who prepared it, it was sent to the ministry and the ministry approved the list. All right, we have 300 and plus students. If we will check to see if your child name is on the list. I will get in touch with Mr. Balancing, or you can call him and ask him if your child name is on the list, and you'll get an answer. All right. So, Ms. Answer,
yes,
speak
sir.
to us about you're welcome, ma'am. Speak to us about the Zoom classes. Now, here's one of the questions I observed. Person have been asking me, should the child have a Gmail account in order to get on the platform, the G Suite account? Let me ask the question again. Should my child have a Gmail account before I can access the Government of Jamaica G Suite account? All right, go ahead, sir.
All right, so let me just deal with the first question regarding the grade 10. Mommy, we have an orientation for grade 10 students on Friday. Friday at 4,
sir.
we have an orientation for grade 10. So I would want to ask that you allow your child to join that session, and you can come on as well. So grade 10 is Friday, grade 9 is Wednesday, or that's tomorrow. So tomorrow is grade 9. All right, so as it relates to the second question about the classes, as was mentioned, we're going to be using the Google Suite. So the Google Classroom is what the ministry is putting forward. What will happen with the Google Classroom is that you will not, when everything is in place from the ministry's end, you will not need data on your phone, and you will not need to have Wi-Fi at home in order to access the classroom or to access the internet to go into Google Suite. Google Suite is going to be completely free for you, for the child, right? So all you would need to do is just open your browser, type in the Google Classroom, and put in your login information, and it will be free. You will not need to have data on your device or have internet at home. That is where the government is going. Now, will you need login information? Yes. Yes. We have already sent the information for your child to the ministry. All the students who are members of Innswood High School, we have already sent their names and their date of birth to the ministry. The ministry will register your child to Google Suite. After they register your child, they are going to send us the login information for them, and we will get them out to you. The only way it's going to be free to you when the time comes for that to take place is if you are using the login information that the ministry would have sent out. So if you decide to create your Gmail, use your Gmail to access the classroom, it's going to charge you. You're going to have internet for that. You will need to have data. But if you use the one that the government is going to send to you, then it will be free. All right?
Yeah, so next question, sorry for all of the time. What about if I don't have a device for her to go on Monday? We can still go
Well,
by
mommy,
all of our collect the booklet that we always collected.
all right. So you're talking about the printed materials. All right. So the printed
Yeah, because
materials will
I
not.
don't sure I'm going to have a tablet for her, something for her to go online for Monday, but I'm working on it.
All right. So with the printed material will not be ready for Monday because the teachers will need to meet with their students and to organize what they're going to do. So Monday, that first week of school is going to they will be doing orientation, getting familiar with the system, teaching them how to behave online when they have online class and things like those. So we're basically going to be using the first 2 or so weeks to do that. But thereafter, well, I suspect that your child will have the device by that time and will be able to join.
I want to
yeah.
try.
Right?
I want to try.
So, right. But thereafter, we will do the assessment to see how many children we have online, how many children we have coming to school in the days online, to see where the students are from who are not coming, and then we will put things in place to have the printed material drop off to the different areas. So we have to do the assessment first to know who we are dealing with, which grades they are from, and things like
area
those.
in which they're from, yes.
Right, before we can send that out. But the ideal thing though, parents, is to get the device because they're gonna miss out. Follow me closely now, and let us be real. What the teacher will do in the classroom, you can't get that off a sheet of paper. What the child will learn when they are in the class, you can't get that by going through a worksheet. Understand?
Yeah.
So
Yes,
that's
sir.
why we say no fees. That's why we say no fees. Save up every little thing you can save and find. Talk to Miss Carr. I don't know if Miss Carr has a.
Yeah, man, I am here. And as I said, I have been hunting and searching to find
All right,
these devices at an affordable price. So please contact me.
And work on it.
I will work on it.
Yes.
Working on it. Yes,
And remember, I just
sorry.
want to state this, mommy, for those who may be listening and are saying that their child is on part, so everything is okay. No, don't bank on it. Because
that's why
part is only giving a certain number of students, So please don't bank on that. Try and get one for yourself. All right.
I was trying. Yes. So have a good evening. No, thank you.
Thank you, mommy. Thank you.
I'm not seeing. It seems as though Mrs. Harrison Thomas did an excellent job on all the presenters, Ms. Carr and Mrs. Brown and Dr. Thomas, because I'm not seeing
any more questions.
No, sir.
Miss Richards.
Mr. Salmon, his hand up again.
Go ahead.
Find him.
Sir Eric Salmon has his hand up again.
Go ahead, sir. Unmute the microphone and speak.
Yes, there's just one question. There's just one question I'd like to ask. As I said, you will check the list. If you check the list, how will we know that our children's name is on the list?
Okay.
That we can pursue a topic.
Good question, sir. The guidance counselor will get in touch with you. So if you call him and they say your name is on the list, arrangement will be made for both of you to meet and collect the tablet. Of course, IDs and all those stuff would have to come in to ensure that this is the right parents collecting the tablet for the child. So just get in touch with Mr. Balancing. He has the list.
But I don't have a number for him or her, whosoever.
All right. Once you're in the
WhatsApp
WhatsApp
in the group. Yes.
Once you're in the WhatsApp group, we'll get to you. Don't worry yourself. Once you're in the WhatsApp group. Right.
Okay.
So just add your number to the. You added the number to the chat already? Are you in the WhatsApp group?
Yeah. Yeah.
He will be good
then. Okay. You'll be fine. Any other questions? Anybody else raising their hands physically? I'm not looking at that screen.
All right. I know that parents, maybe this question wasn't raised, but I know that they'll be asking, what if they are encountering any difficulty with regards to the online platform? Who is it that they should communicate such problems with? All right, so that they can seek some solution for the betterment of the child. So I'm just gonna use this opportunity to say to you that sorry, all right, sorry about that. Right. So I'm just gonna use the opportunity to say that I'll be making my number, I'll be posting my number in the chat as well, so that you can communicate any issues with me. I can make I can send this information to the technical team, and that situation can therefore be resolved. So I know that at this point in time, you're always going to need somebody who you want to at least make a complaint to with regards to the online platform. All right, so I'm going to post my number in the chat as well.
Thank you, Mr. Small. And to add, though, not only Mr. Small, the coordinator, as Mrs. Harrison Thomas and Mr. Hines, those numbers would be posted in the chat so you can get in touch with any of those persons, along with Mr. Small.
Just right, to as long as you're in the WhatsApp group, remember, as long as you're in the WhatsApp group, you have access to all the form teachers, grade coordinators, vice principals, so you don't need to worry. We are all there. Okay, as long as you're in the group.
Please note, yes, please note, thank you, sir. Please note that the coordinators are the one that is in charge of your of the group and your child. All right, they are the grade coordinator. So please forward any complaint to them. Mr. Small is in charge of the VP for the lower school. Please also, you can also contact him, right? Because we want you to get, as the problem occur and you post the problem, we want to get it worked on and fixed right away. They will want you to go to the right channel. If you see me or call me, it's going to take some time for that information to be passed on to Ms. Thomas or Mr. Hines, then Mr. Small, then you go to the technical team. But if you speak to those persons directly, it will be fixed right away. All right? Are you hearing?
Loud and clear, sir.
Any more questions, sir?
A parent is asking, what about the online platform that we'll be using for classes? Ms. Thomas, you had mentioned that before. I'm not sure if she was late, but if you could just make mention of that again.
Mommy, good afternoon. We'll be using, good evening, we'll be using.
Could you ask the question again? You went out.
Yes. What about the online platforms that will be used? So I gather that she probably wants to know about the different platforms that will be using the
Google Suite.
Google Suite.
What about no other?
No, Google. Everything that we need is in Google Suite.
All right. No, listen now. Mr. Anson addressed that. I'm going to ask him to address it again because there's no other platform but the Government of Jamaica platform, which is the G Suite. And I thought he did so well in telling us that it's free. Once you get online the G Suite, there's no need for internet or data, for you to pay for internet or data. The Government of Jamaica will provide that for us. For it. So all you need to do as parents is to get your devices online. Get your devices and get ready for school come October 5th. All right? So let me just emphasize that because I thought it was cleared up. So you don't buy the data. You just get your devices, get the school code will be sent to you via the group, the WhatsApp group, and you just get online and be ready for class. All right, I hope that's clear.
Somebody wants to know about the form teachers.
Mr. Hanson, go ahead.
Mr. Harrison Thomas.
Oh, yes, sorry.
Good evening. As it relates to the form teachers, as I said before, a list will be posted in the grade 8 group. All class lists will be posted along with the names of the form teachers who are assigned to each class.
Again, if you're not a part of the group, you just kindly place your number in the chat.
All right, somebody is asking about the books, rental books. I want to address that one quickly. All right, so parents, I'm sure you know that it is a revolving thing where students who borrow books return them so that the other students can use them. Because of COVID and the fact that school was closed early, we were unable to collect the books from most of our students. So most of our students right now still have the books from last school year. Those books, they will need to return so that your children can get textbooks. All right, so we are going to be sending out a schedule next week And we're going to be asking your parents in this group now, if you have the textbooks from last year, the grade 7 textbooks, we're going to ask you to follow the schedule as best as possible and return them to school so that we can distribute them to the new grade 7s who are coming in. Likewise, we're going to be asking the grade 9s to return the textbooks so that you know who are in grade 8 can get them, right? Because we will have to collect them from the students before we can distribute them to you. I'm sure you understand that we were on lockdown for a while because of COVID, and so most of these things were not done. So we're asking you to bear with us. We are going to send out the schedule next week. I spoke with the bookroom administrator today, Mrs. Easy Brown, and she's going to be sending out a schedule next week for collection, and then we'll do the distribution thereafter. But you will be kept posted. That's why we are emphasizing, ensure that you're a part of the WhatsApp group, and don't worry about your space on your phone. Mr. Small will tell you that the group is closed at a certain time. Nobody can post in it at a certain time. And then it's going to be opened at a certain time for you to put in your concerns and so on. Only the admins will be able to post. So you won't miss anything. You won't miss anything. So when the list goes out, when the schedules go out, you will see everything and you'll be able to follow it for your grade. All right, so that is where we are right now. Bearing in mind, parents, we were planning for the students to come back to us face-to-face October 5th. So we were planning for the students to take the books back to us come next week, Monday, because we would have been seeing them face-to-face. But because now we are shifting to online totally, we now have to put something else in place. So you will get books, don't worry. As long as they are returned, you will get books for your children. But even if you don't get any book, I can guarantee that the teachers will make the material available to you. That has always been the case. So even if you don't get any book, the teachers will make the material available to you. So we will be out there giving 110%. All right, so please just bear that in mind. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And to add to that, Miss Garden and Miss Bogle is in charge of collecting books. So parents who want to take books to the school, because one have asked me the question before, you can take the books to the school and give it to Mr. Garden at the front desk or Miss Bogle. Those are the person in charge of collecting books at this time.
I've also posted the numbers for the school in the group, in the chat. So parents, if you're having any issues, or as I said before, you can pass the number on to other parents, all right? So the number for the school, as well as my number, was posted in the chat. So please make a note of that.
Parents, the number that you posted to be added to the WhatsApp group, please ensure that that's a WhatsApp number. If it's not a WhatsApp number, then it can't be added.
And ensure that it's the parent's number.
And it's a parent's number. I got a call with a parent mentioned to me that her phone is not working, so she's using her son's phone. So I know that there sometimes might be exceptions in this case. But ensure that the number is a registered WhatsApp number so that you can be added. Thank you.
Will student be turned back if they're not registered? All right, let me just say this to your parents. It's important that you register your child at the school. If you don't register the child at school, we won't have any record that the child attends the school. So we're asking you to ensure the child is registered. Will they be turned back offline? No, but eventually we have to deregister them if they're not registered. Is that clear? If I made myself clear? Because we can't operate, because what we don't want is persons to come online, which I don't think is possible though, but if they should try to come online to be a part of our classes, they have to be registered, all right? So please come out, register the child, because if it's not seen as the child register, I mean the child missed grade 8. It's gonna be that we're gonna consider the child missing grade 8, all right? Thank you very much.
All right, sir, a question in the chat. Good day. Are grade 8 and 9 students eligible for tablets? Grades 8 and 9, are they eligible for tablets?
Thank you, sir. All right, the government is selling tablet for grade 10 and 11 part students. I'm not sure if there's another program in the making for all the students in Jamaica to receive tablet, but for now, only grade 10 and 11 students, part students will receive tablet. No more question?
All right, I'm seeing a hand.
Carolyn Brown has her hand up.
Yes. Unmute and go ahead, please.
Next question. Mr. Ansel, I thought the rental books, it used like grade 9 and 10. I think I thought I did hear the last time when we go for the books.
No,
it's 10 and 11.
10 to 11.
10 to 11. Those are the only two grades that use
pass on.
Continue.
For grade 9, they must come in.
Yes, they should bring them in. Yes. Only those who are in grade 10 going into grade 11 keep their books. Right? Every other grade.
So when I bring over the books, I'm going to collect grade books same time, or is the next day?
No, same time.
No. When you bring the book in, you get that. We will call you and let you know when you can collect books. But for now, we want to get in all the books. All right?
So
because remember, bring them in tomorrow perfectly. Remember now, at first we're planning for face-to-face to collect all the books, but because of what is happening now, we have to go online. So please bring in the books. We'll get in touch with you as soon as we're ready to distribute books. All right?
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, Ms. Brown.
Thank you, Mommy. Somebody is asking in the chat if they can register their child tomorrow. Yes, sure. You can register. You can come any day to do your registration, as well as based on Mrs. Harrison Thomas also made it clear earlier that you can also register your child online. All you will need to do is to have all your documents, scan them, upload them, and send them via email to the school, and we will do the registration. I'm going to tell you the email address that you can send it to. It's highschoolinnswood@gmail.com. highschoolinnswood@gmail.com, and you can just scan your documents, upload them, send them via email, and we will do the registration if you cannot go by the school. So you have no limitations right now. You can go there anytime during the opening hours, and you can also send the documents online, and we will register your child. Thank you. Any other questions? If you have a question, now is the time to indicate. And we're going, if not, I'm going to just hand back over to Dr. Thomas, Mrs. Harrison Thomas.
In the meantime, the persons are putting up their hands. Just to emphasize, school starts at 8 to 2:40. So your child should be ready, as Mrs. Thomas had said, before 8.
7:50.
7:50, sir, 7:50.
7:50, she had said. So we're asking students not to be late for class. We have missed so much time and wasted so much time. COVID came and took away so much time from us. So we asked, as Mrs. Thomas said, it's 7:50. You must be online, waiting in a uniform, in a corner of the house, ready for class. We're far from the TV and in a distraction because you want to have your child full attention. All right? And please bear this in mind. Please bear this in mind. Hold on, Mr. Sawant. Please bear this in mind. I'm going to emphasize the point because I want the parents to understand the seriousness of where we're going with online class, our school. If your child fail, and I want you to emphasize that to your children, if they fail to pass grade 8 content or grade 8 level, we're going to readmit them back to grade 8. We're going to repeat them if they fail to master the content of grade 8. So I'm sure that there are some children now who think that online, oh, it's going to be easy, we can take it easy. No, don't take it easy. Much more be required of you. And this is the time I'm very serious. We're going to repeat students. Yes, and they're not going to change uniform. If a child repeat grade 8, he's going to remain in his grade 8 uniform with the crest on it. What color is grade 8 crest again? Can somebody remind me? What color was last?
Green. Green.
Green.
Green.
Green. They say they're green. This grade 8.
Grade 8 is green.
All right, thank you. So the child remain in grade 8 with their green crest. So when the child friends go to grade 9 and those in grade 7, because every person in the school knows what the different crest, what grade a crest is. So green crest is grade 8. So everybody know that your child is in grade, it should be in grade 9, but repeating grade 8. All right. So students, parents, ensure that they take this serious. because I'll be looking out for those persons who are not focused. And I'll be asking the coordinator from time to time and the dean to tell me of those students who are not focused or not online. They must come online for registration. So that begs the next question, Ms. Harrison Thomas. How would I know if my child is registered as a parent? I left my child at home, I've gone to work. How would I know that my child accessed the online platform?
Well, we'll have to liaison with the subject teachers because they will be the ones engaging the students. So what I'll do, myself and Mr. Hines, will ensure that all teachers give us an update as often as possible as to the amount of students and engage the students, because some persons
names,
sign on, and even though they're on, they are not physically inside in the virtual classroom. So teachers should always be asking questions. So Mary Jane, what is your response? And I mean the video will all be on, so I guess the teachers can ensure that students are there.
All right, and real-time parents, you'll get the information from the coordinator that your child did not attend class today. So that's why I want you to take their numbers, which will be in the group, and you communicate with the coordinators, so you can know if your child missed school or the child was online. Open the link between the coordinators, correspond with them. Go ahead, Mrs. Thomas.
Also, sir, I'm going to encourage parents to ensure that the child is adequately supervised at home to ensure that the child is engaging in online learning as well.
Okay, fine.
So we have to work as a team.
Yes,
so the parents, they will have to do their part as well. They can't expect Mr. Hines and I to be doing the work alone, because at first I said this is a collaborative effort.
Yes.
Teamwork, because I'm not at the home. So, you know, I can do things from my end, but the parents, we are endorsing and asking you to assist us to ensure, don't just leave your child at home. Ensure that an adult is always there to supervise the child.
And to add, Miss Harrison Thomas, because there are some parents who have to go to work without anybody there to supervise. And that's why I'm stressing that the parents should inform their children if they fail the test, because this term there's going to be a test, hopefully, and next term there's going to be a test, and the 3-term grades will be used to determine if the child moves on. So let them know if they waste time, they're going to pay the consequences. So they must be focused. All right. So parents, as I said before, get in touch with the coordinators so you can get information from them. The WhatsApp group is there. Put the questions out there. Ask the coordinators. Mr. Small, ask them. The dean, ask them, because they will be online with your child. All right?
A parent asked about the medical. Medical is not done for students in grade 8.
Right.
Right?
I just want to clear up something as well. Just want to clear up something in the chat as well. Mr. Small, I see the parents are telling us which color crest the students wear, but we see them more than the parents. So we know, we're in a new school year, parents.
Yeah.
So if the child, when the child was in grade 7, the child had a green crest. Now that your child is in grade 8, the child will still have a green crest.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
It goes up to?
Goes up until they graduate. The same color crest they wear right through until they leave Innswood High School.
Right.
Always the same color crest. So, and the ones who were in grade 8 last year, they wore the orange crest. Now they are going to be in grade 9 and
With
they will
the
still wear the orange crest. All right. So don't go to the store. Know that your child is in grade 8 and buy a green crest shirt and buy a, an orange crest shirt for them.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's a grade 8 was orange last year. No.
Yes.
Buy the same color crest that you had from before. The same color you're using. As a matter of fact, school is online now, so you can wear the old uniform.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Someone hand is up again.
Before Mr. Salmon asks the question though, let me just also say that we are working on a student video tutorial so that the students can have the knowledge of how to access the platform. We are working on that one. Let me speak this into action as well, that it will be posted, because I know that this video can be a little bit lengthy, that we're working on posting it on the YouTube channel that we have, so that the students can go on and view it, and they could actually from that know how to access the G Suite and how to actually manipulate the Google classes. So we're working on that, sir.
Thank you, sir. As relates to the uniform, though, parents, let me just emphasize. If your daughter comes in at grade 7 with a green crest, that same uniform can be worn up to grade 11. The vest, green vest, the crest on the vest should be green. That child right short the 5 year of the child, well, it's going to be 7 years now because we're going to grade 13, I must add.
Right, grade
that
13.
School doesn't finish at grade 12 and grade 11 anymore. It goes 12 and 13. So your child will be staying with us 2 extra years. And that uniform, well, for the 6th form, we want to put them in a different uniform, because at that time, those students we want them to look different from the rest. For the boys with the shirt, I know we had some bad shirts, but I guarantee that this shirt that we have at this time is going to take the child from grade 7 up to grade 9. Then white, you wear the white shirt in grade 10 and also grade 11, but the crest remain the same. We believe that when we did this was to save you some money, that when you buy one shirt and it's good quality, it lasts you up to grade 9, and then you change to white, and the white remain to 10 and 11 and 12 and 13. Now we kind of change it up a bit because we want him to, that's our 6th form, we want him to look different. All right, thank you very much. Miss Saracen Thomas, back to you.
Thank you, sir. Any more questions? So at this time,
someone still would like to ask a question?
He's still waving his hand.
All right,
go ahead, Mr. Salmon.
Yeah, what I'm saying that, what you're saying, that grade 8 doesn't need a medical? Any medical?
Correct.
No, sir.
No medical for grade 8, sir.
Okay, thank you. And the next problem. When I come to school and collect the first set of rental book, they give me a book with tear, rip, and mark up with pencil. When I show it to the lady explained to me, said, there's no more there, I will have to take it. Now, when I return the book, they are telling me that I have to pay some money.
All right, so you'll have to talk with us off the air to deal with that case.
Right, see us in person to talk to deal with that, so we can talk.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
All right. Okay, let me just ask, any concerns you're having as relates to the platform we're about to use, about anything that we have said? Mrs. Thomas said quite a lot. Any concerns? Any fears?
No, I don't have any fear, but what I'm saying about what you said about the Zoom is Google Speed. Yeah.
Google Suite, yes. Google Suite.
Google Suite.
Yes, sir. It has Google Suite has face-to-face in it as well. Video. Yeah, it has. All right, you see Google Suite. It has face-to-face video teaching in it as well, just like Zoom.
Yes.
So you wouldn't need to go in Zoom. Google Suite has everything. It has the regular classroom look, and it has the video classroom setup as well. So once you go there, everything is right there.
So the next thing, suppose we so for instance, that's what I want to know early. If his name is on the list, I want to know because I would like to try to get one over the weekend. I probably find over the weekend.
Okay, I understand. I understand that. We'll get information out to you.
Okay. Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes, you're welcome. All right, that's it, sir.
No more questions. I would like to thank our principal, our vice principals, Mrs. Rowe, who could not be here today, and Mr. Hansen and Mr. Small, along with our guidance counselor and Ms. Carr, for their very excellent presentations that they have done today. And parents, I would like to thank you also for taking the time out of your busy schedule to be here with us today to discuss the way forward with your child or ward. I just want to tell you that at Innswood High School, we are committed to ensure that your child will not be left behind, and your child's well-being is our #1 priority. So I just want to thank you for attending this meeting, and please continue to be safe. Take very good care of yourselves and your children, And remember that we will go back face to face sometime very soon, I'm hoping. So, you'll have to send out your hand sanitizers. Children should have their masks. So you give them more than one mask for the day. And let us just trust God and pray that everything will work out and COVID will be a thing of the past. So if any of the other administrators have anything else to say, they can do so now, and we'll adjourn this meeting. So I just want to thank everyone for participating. We're very happy and thankful for your contribution. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Mrs. Thomas, Harrison Thomas.
Yes,
Well done.
Well done indeed.
I must say that Mrs. Harrison Thomas has done extremely well.
Yes.
And she looks like a little girl, but she's a big woman. I'm proud of her. I'm proud of her.
Said big woman, like
yes,
woman.
Big woman. I am proud of her. She's like my daughter. I love her very much. Thanks again, Miss Harrison. You have made us proud today. Thank you very much.
Well done, Miss.
I want to also.
Indeed.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate it.
I want to add that please remember, parents, get in touch with other parents, your neighbors. Tell your neighbors about this meeting. Tell them about the WhatsApp group, that they need to have their numbers in the WhatsApp group so we can get in touch with them. All right? Please remember that if we are selfish, that selfishness will affect us later in a negative way. So get in touch with the neighbors. Tell the child in the lane. If you see an Innswood student in the lane on the road, tell them about the WhatsApp group. Give them the number of Mrs. Harrison Thomas, Mr. Small, and Mr. Hines, Miss Carr, the guidance counselor. Give them the number because we want to reach every child in this grade and also in the school. We want to have school as normal. I'm beseeching the parents to help us to reach those students because we want to have school as normal. Again, let me say to you, be safe and may the Lord continue to bless you. And in the words of my granny, walk good.
All right, so we can do a countdown.
Let me
5.
Hold on, Mrs.
Go ahead.
I'm going to let all the VPs and yourself and Miss Brown just say something to encourage the parents out, and we can close off. So Mr. Hanson, then Mr. Carr, then Mr. Small, then Miss Carr, then Mrs. Brown. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, parents, for coming out and participating in this event. Well done, Mrs. Harrison Thomas and all the other members of staff who participated. Parents, I want to encourage you to subscribe to the school's YouTube channel.
Oh yes, I'm on it. I'm on it.
Subscribe to the school's YouTube channel. We are going to be streaming many of our programs. We are going to be uploading lessons to our YouTube channel. Your child can just go onto YouTube and learn something about algebra and so on. We are going to be doing all of that on our YouTube channel. So you're gonna go into YouTube, type Innswood High School, click subscribe, select the notification, ring that bell, and select all. You know all about these things because you are social media people, so you know about these things. And you hear people talking about like, share, and subscribe. Yes, wanted to like the videos, wanted to share, with other students and so on, and with other persons in your community, and subscribe. We're not trying to make any money off this thing, right? We just want people to be involved in what is happening at the school. So like, share, subscribe. Innswood High School, that's the name for our YouTube channel. This meeting is there. It's posted there. You can go back and watch it anytime. You can send the link to your friends who are not here today and they can get all the information. All right, thank you very much. May the Lord bless and keep you as you go forward.
Mr. Small, could you thank you, Mr. Hanson, Mr. Small?
Thanks so much, Mr. Hanson. Parents, let me just say that, you know, right about now, we need each other. Now is not the time to become flustered, you know, because of the changes that is taking place. We are all in this thing together. And what we need at this point in time is composure, and we need patience, you know, and we just need to let our children, because we are in this for our children, you know, and we want them to know that we have this, and we are not going to let them down, and we are going to be with them through this period. So, you know, just persevere through this, be patient, be composed, Again, if there's a situation that may arise that you might not be aware of or you don't know about with regards to the platform, we have already sent out the numbers for the relevant persons that you need to get in contact with. So it's more about just keeping this relationship going. Now is the time where we need to strengthen our relationship, both as teachers, facilitators, administrators, and parents and students. We need to have this relationship very strong at this point in time. We can't be weak now. We can't let down our children now. We have to keep this going. So thank you very much, parents, for being here. It's nice seeing some of the faces. I know that some persons are not really showing their faces, but we are in this thing together. All right, and we will be in this to the end. All right, thanks much.
Thank you, Mr. Small. Ms. Carr, could you say the final word, and then Mrs. Brown?
All right, I just want to encourage you again, parents. We're taking it one day, one step at a time. We will remain focused and steadfast on the task that is set ahead of us, and we will work together. Please do not be anxious. The Bible said, do not be anxious about anything, but pray about everything. Every day you are leaving out. Please, I'm asking you, pray about this whole situation. And by changing your perspective, you will change your reality. I know that you're all anxious about this new thing, but as I said before, we're going to pray about everything and be anxious about nothing. We're looking forward to this new and exciting chapter in our education, journey. Again, thank you, parents. Our numbers have been passed around. Please save it. Miss Carr, Dean of Discipline, Innswood High School. We have all passed out our numbers. I expect to see you messaging me, and we are working to make this process as easy and as comfortable as we possibly can. Please be safe on the road and at home. And God bless you.
Thank you, Ms. Carr. Mrs. Brown?
Yes, parents. This is not the first there has been a pandemic. And what we can take, we can be comfortable with is that we will know that it will pass. This will pass.
Sure. Yes.
We just want you as parents to continue to keep in touch with the school and to know that we are here to support you, and together we will get through this. God bless.
Amen.
Thank you. Okay, parents. Thank you, parents. Thank you, colleagues. The teachers are online. Thank you very much for coming out. Have a good day, a good night rather, and may the Lord continue to bless you. Those who are child, anybody have any children in grade 9, tomorrow is your time at 4 p.m. and grade 10 the following day. Friday is grade 10 rather. So for Thursday, we won't have any meetings. All right, thanks again. You're dismissed.
Thank you.
5, 4, 3, 2,
1.
1.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, parents, you can leave the meeting.
All right, I'm going to leave the here.